everybody. What's going on? This is so exciting. Live streaming here on Verishop. This is my first time, so I gotta explore. How cool, you can see the products right there. Oh, and then it says who's joining the party. T3 joins the party. Perfect. I'm just going to give it a moment while a couple more people are able to log in and join the stream, right? We don't have to be casually late. You know, it's the hip thing to do. It's the hip thing to be. Oh, I see Allison has joined the party. I love that it says that, has joined the party. Christina, what's going on? Oh, and already getting some love. So awesome. This is so fun. I am a huge fan of Verishop, just like the app and kind of the social component. And I love that they're doing live stream and, shoppable live streams. That's what it's called. Shoppable live streams now. So cool. Oh, hey, Christina. How are you? Are you excited to learn about healthy summer hair with T3's HeatID collection? Look at these beauties. They're so gorgeous. They're gorgeous, people. Christina, where are you located? I'm in Southern California. Where are you watching the stream from? I got to know. While waiting for a few other folks to join, why don't I just kind of go through some, housekeeping items, the announcements we have to do at the top of every live stream, right? So first is that give us a follow if you're not already following T3. We would love to be connected with you guys, and that way you can stay up to date on all things T3. And we can, interact here on the social pages on Verishop, which are so fun. Hi, Jesse. Hi, Alex. What's going on? Thanks for joining us, guys. And then also, yes, please ask questions in the chat. Let me know what you guys want to see. I'll do my best to answer any questions you may have. And it's, it's not just about me talking at you. It should be conversation. So feel free to pop in some comments as well. Love hearing your feedback, what you guys are all thinking. Hey, Jamie, what's up? Thanks for joining us. So as you may or may not know, all of the live streams here on Verishop, you can get, when it's live only, right, during the live stream, 15% off. So get to shopping right now. Luckily, you don't have to feel rushed. The 15% off will still be valid 30 minutes after the live stream ends. So you've got some flexibility there, but get to shopping. Don't miss out. And then there's also free shipping on orders over $35 and free shipping if you use Buy Now with Apple Pay. So that's pretty awesome. And the 15% off discount, it is in addition to any other discounts that are happening. So some really nice savings there. So, get it while it's hot, folks, right? So let me share a little bit about who I am. T3 is a brand, and then we'll kind of get into the nitty-gritty of these products and do some fun styling demos. So my name is Sarah Williams. I'm T3's brand educator and spokesperson. I've been with the company for, oh my gosh, almost 4 years. Time flies. But it's been so fun working at T3 and just learning about hair and hair tools and, the science and the technology and the innovation and the research that actually goes into creating hair tools. So I'm excited to kind of share that insight with all of you, spread that knowledge. And so if you have any questions, please don't be shy and definitely ask. What's going on, CNT3? Thanks for joining the party here on Verishop. So yeah, I love T3. I'm obsessed. I think after today, if you're not already, you will be too. So a little bit of insight and, a little history lesson here on T3 as a brand. So T3 was started in 2003. So we've been around for almost 20 years, which is crazy. And we really led the way in luxury hair tools. What does that mean? Now, I think luxury hair tools, it means two things. The first is that the hair tools should be beautiful. And oh my gosh, these are absolutely stunning. I mean, just even the packaging, right? Look behind me. The white and rose gold aesthetic is pretty much to die for. Let's just be real about that. But in addition to being beautiful, right, these tools should be smart. They should have brains, right? They should work for you. And so, as I mentioned, our tools are backed by science and technology and research and innovation. And kind of the next chapter of that for us is personalization. So how can this flat iron, the Lucea ID 1-inch smart straightening and styling iron, how can this iron work for me with my thin, long color treated hair, and how can it work for Donna, who I see just joined the party, and Jesse. Thank you. Nice product, right? Aren't they just beautiful? They're gorgeous. So how can this tool work for everybody, and how can we demystify the styling experience? And so out of that kind of philosophy, HeatID was born. So HeatID, basically, this tool, the Lucea ID and the Curl ID, they have HeatID technology. There's 9 possible settings of heat on these tools, right? 9 heat settings. And the tool tells you what heat setting is perfect for you based on your individual hair profile. So let's kind of walk through that a little bit. And I want to make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. I've got some fun things. Oh, CNT, those are so pretty. Donna, hi, Sarah. What's going on, Donna? Where are you guys all watching from? I'm in Southern California. I'm curious where you guys are watching the live stream from. Oh, and look at the love is just like blowing up. I'm digging all the love here. Inland Empire, nice. I bet it is a toasty in there because it is quite toasty here on the west side of Los Angeles. So I hope you got some good AC in the IE there. Okay. HeatID, right? Why is it important to use the right heat setting? Well, let me ask you all this. How many people relate to this? You get a new hair tool, you go home, you plug it in, and you turn it up to the highest heat setting, right? And then it just lives there for the life of the tool. And turns out we don't need that much heat, most of us, right? And unnecessary heat damage damages our hair. Our style won't actually last as long. So it's really counterintuitive. You want to be using the right heat setting for your hair type. And so the Lucea ID and Curl ID do it all. In a study, we actually found that 90% of women thought that they needed more heat to achieve their styling goals, but 62% of women were actually able to turn the heat down using HeatID technology. So I talked about it enough, right? Let's get into it. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Oh, CNT says very, very toasty. And Donna, Southern California, oddly humid. Yeah, what is up with that right now? I don't like it. I tell you, I don't like it. We're so spoiled in Southern California. It's like a little humidity. We don't even know what to do with ourselves. Okay. So the Lucea ID and also this tool won the Allure 2020 Breakthrough Beauty Award because it is so innovative. There's nothing else out there like it with HeatID. It's smart and it has a touch interface. So I see the little button here. I'm gonna press and hold. Did you guys hear that? She talks to you too. Some fun video audio cues when you turn on the tool and toggle between different settings. So I'm going to double click the power button to unlock. And now you can see these HeatID icons. So the hair profile for the Lucea ID, right? The keystone hair attributes it's looking at is going to be hair texture. Oh, it locked on me. Hair texture, hair length, and color treatment. So let's talk a little bit about kind of diagnosing your hair into these categories. So hair texture can be kind of challenging. I always like to say, grab a single strand of hair, just one, grab just one. There we go. And run it through your index finger and your thumb. And if you can't really feel it and you can't really see it, you have fine hair. And I am the queen of the fine hair committee. Now, if you can feel that individual strand, but it feels smooth and you can see it, you have medium textured hair. If you can absolutely feel it, you might even feel some like texture on it, like some bumps, and you can see that individual strand of hair, then you have coarse hair. So, right, takes the guesswork out. I always thought I had medium textured hair, but who knew? So let me double click the power button again to unlock, and then I can toggle through these settings, and now I just have the first one illuminated. You can kind of see it there. So my fine hair is now input. And then I have long hair. So the way that this works on the hair length is if it's chin length or shorter, you have short hair, chin to shoulder, medium, and anything longer than your shoulder is going to be long hair. So I have long hair, which is already activated. And then the final input is color treatment. My hair, you can probably tell, is definitely color treated. So I have that activated. And so out of 9 possible heat settings, I have a HeatID of 4 here on the Lucea ID. It's funny, when T3 first launched the Lucea ID and I knew about the technology and I knew there were 9 heat settings, I was like, I bet I'm going to be like a 5 or a 6. But nope, I'm a 4, even with everything I know about hair and not wanting to overexpose it to unnecessary heat damage. Nope, still, I was wrong. I'm a 4. So super fun. Let's do the curl ID because it has slightly different inputs, which is interesting because different kind of hair attributes are more critical for different styling, right? So with a flat iron, right, length of hair becomes really important. When you're curling, length isn't quite as important because of, the technique when you're curling. So the inputs on the curl ID are going to be hair texture, right here. Texture is one of the biggest drivers when it comes to how much heat you need. Kind of think of hair as a fabric. So if you have a really fine, fragile hair, maybe equate that to silk, right? You don't need much heat, and you don't want to give it too much heat. You're going to burn the fabric. If you have more coarse hair or a coarse fabric, like a wool, you need more heat, right, to change the structure or change the pattern, I should say, right, from straight to curly, curly to straight, and so on. How much of this product do you use? So for the styling tools, I mean, you just style your whole head of hair with them. I'll say that today I did just kind of a rough dry and then a quick blowout on my hair. And then I touched it up this morning with the Lucea ID. I had a meeting, so I just wanted to kind of get some of those little curls I get here and kind of polish the ends. Something fun about the Lucea ID, which your question reminded me of, is it has refresh mode. So when you're styling your hair on day 2, day 3, or maybe even just touching up fragile pieces, like little curly cues I always get right here, maybe your bangs, you can go into refresh mode. So to get there, I'm going to double click the power button to unlock. And you can see this button's kind of greenish. I press it, and then the whole interface turns to that kind of greenish aquamarine color. And my heat ID that was 4 is now 2. And so basically the idea with this is once you've already styled your hair once, right, you don't need quite as much heat to go and do your touch-ups. And so we created refresh mode so that you could take the guesswork out of that, right, and then just have that lower heat setting, which is all you need for your touch-ups. I also know folks that'll just use refresh mode just because maybe they have especially fragile hair, one of my coworkers, she has rainbow hair. It's awesome. It's so cool. She's bleached her hair and then has all these wonderful colors in it. And so her hair is just, obviously very fragile. So she just goes into heat ID mode and just uses that. So she's not overexposing her hair to unnecessary heat damage. But thank you for the question, Jordan. I hope that answers it and is helpful. And Dila, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And Dila, welcome to the party. Thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat. We were just talking about heat ID on the T3 Curl ID 1.25-inch curling iron and the Lucea ID 1-inch straightening and styling iron. So then the other feature on these tools that's super fun is manual mode. So I double click the power button. I'm back in heat ID mode, and then I press the power button again. And now I'm in manual mode, so I can just simply toggle. You can scroll or tap to change your heat setting. Super fun, makes the tool even more versatile. It can also be great for folks that are using the Lucea ID for maybe a single styling experience, but with multiple hair types. So maybe you have extensions, maybe sometimes you use wigs or the whole bang things, right? Maybe you're touching up your bangs throughout the day. So you can just kind of go into manual mode and change your heat setting, which is kind of fun, right? Just some extra versatility. Allison, I never curl my hair, but iron often. Could the curling iron curl my hair? That's a fabulous question. It absolutely can. Let me put it back into heat ID mode because I think in manual mode I had it on heat setting 9. A little too much for me. I'm going to let it cool down for a second. Let me part my hair in the middle. I'm a millennial, but I'll pretend I'm Gen Z right now. So we can do some fun styling demos. So you can absolutely curl and wave with a flat iron. Lucea ID has what we call a style edge design. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but basically the plates have a beveled edge, so they're rounded. So you can absolutely curl and wave with this. So let me show you one of my techniques. And the fun thing about curling and waving with a flat iron is, depending on how you hold the tool, that's going to kind of dictate what your curl looks like or your wave looks like. So the first one that I like to do is I put the tool in my hair wrap it around, and then I turn it all the way around 360 degrees. And then I'm just going to really slowly run it through the full section. And because I have the right heat setting, I don't have to worry about too much heat. And a nice curl right there. Really nice shine. And like I said, different techniques. So the more that you turn the flat iron, the tighter your curl is going to be. There's another really fun technique. Well, let's see. There's another question. Oh, Allison, excellent question. Does the iron save your ID when you plug it in? Absolutely. So when I have my HeatID on the flat iron at 4, I unplug it, I plug it in next time, it's going to just go right back to heat setting 4. My HeatID is already input. Oh, it's not because I had changed it. But now we go on the curl ID. And so it'll just be there next time. So excellent question. Oh, nice. And Allison, I see you're looking at the Lucea ID. That's so awesome. It's 15% off during the live stream and for 30 minutes after. So get it while it is hot. I'm going to do a couple more sections here so that I can kind of, you know, have cohesive hair so the whole thing can be curled. Did I get all of those questions? I think so. Cool. We're caught up on questions. Oh my gosh, there's avocados. Wait. Oh, that's so fun. I was just seeing the hearts and the diamonds. Okay. Oh my gosh, I added avocados too, guys. How fun is that? All right. So let me show you that technique one more time. So I'm going to put my hair in the iron. I'm not going to squeeze really hard because I don't want to crimp and crease. And then I'm just going to spin. So the iron is now, I've spun it all the way around 360 degrees. And I'm just slowly feeding my hair through. I like to kind of curl my hair after like that, just so it kind of maintains that new structure of the curl. But look how, it's funny, I'm like mirrored on here. But look how pretty that curl is. I used to think only like unicorns or like wizards were able to curl and wave their hair with flat irons. I kid, guys. But it's actually not that hard. And a fun like hack or way to practice is if you want to curl and wave with a flat iron or really try any new technique with any new hot styling tool, just practice with it off. Because it's generally all about like the flick of the wrist and how we're moving our hands and the tool through our hair. Okay. I've got a mirror behind me, so that's why my eyeline keeps going over there, guys. Do you use heat protectant? That is an excellent question. I do. I actually sprayed some on before the stream because I knew I would be styling my hair. And I also tend to use a lot of oils. Fun trick too, a little hack is when you're done with your style, you can take hairspray and spray it right on your hands and then take a couple drops of oil and mix it and then run it through your hair. And it almost gives you kind of a textured beachy vibe because it's got like the sticky spray and then the shine of the oil. I found I really liked that rather than just like spraying my hair and then putting an oil in or vice versa. It's just like combining them worked really great for me. But yeah, heat protectants, always a great idea. We invest so much in our hair, whether it's when we're going and getting it cut or colored, whatever it is, right? Investing in quality hair tools that, yeah, like use quality shampoos and conditioners and heat protectants and oils, all that, right? It's just going to make your results even better. So something fun too with the flat iron and the curling iron is that they're not going to accidentally activate. So once you're in the locked position, you can see I can like rub my fingers on it and I'm not like unlocking the tool or changing the settings. So you don't have to worry about that as you're styling and curling your hair. Jordan, I really like it, Erin. So nice, right? It's so pretty. And look, I'm obsessed with these curls. Another fun technique, and let me grab a better section. Sectioning is important too. I should use my clips. What am I doing, people? So we also have in the little like product carousel here, the T3 clip kit. It's awesome. So it comes with 4 of these white alligator clips. Great for sectioning. They will literally hold your whole head of hair up. I mean, depending on your hair, but it will hold my whole head of hair up all day in a messy bun when I'm having one of those days. And then it comes with 30 really gorgeous rose gold bobby pins. So you can kind of see the color a little better. They're really strong, so they like hold your hair in place really nicely, and then great for accessorizing. And we're all about the hair accessories right now. Okay, so let me take a cleaner section here. All right. And so this is like a bubble wave, and I feel like it's so trendy right now, and it can be achieved with a flat iron. So all you have to do is, and again, another little trick when you're putting the flat iron in your hair, don't like clamp down really hard at the top. If you do, you can get like creases and crimps. So just very gently, right, take it in, and I'm going to go up at an angle. I'm going to let go of my hair. I'm going to go down at an angle. I'm going to kind of let go. And go back up. And so you kind of get this like, oh, I grabbed another curl there, a little bubble wave. Let's try another section. Do, do, do. Welcome, everybody. I just see so many fun new faces in here. Jenny, Alex94, Kate. Oh, CNT, yes. I love it. Thank you for reiterating. 15% off if you buy today, and it'll last 30 minutes after the live stream. So in case you kind of want to shop around, maybe add some other things to your order, but every product that we're featuring in today's live stream is 15% off today only. Something else I love about this flat iron is it's got ceramic plates. Okay, there you go. Now that was a good one because it was a clean section. Right, so you kind of get this nice little bubble effect. You can kind of do your whole head of hair that way, and then you just get some really nice texture. Or if you like kind of alternate your ups and downs, you can get like really nice big volume. Super fun. So, but ceramic plates. Ceramic is great for styling tools, great material. One is that it's like slippery. So you can kind of tell as I'm like pulling my hair through the flat iron. We'll just curl one final section here. Like it's not snagging or pulling at all. It's just really cleanly going through. So that's great. And then also ceramic naturally releases ions, and ions help to add shine to your hair. They close the cuticles, so it's extra kind of a health benefit for your hair. So a lot of our styling tools have ceramic, including the Curl ID, which let's bust out the Curl ID. Let me know if you guys have more questions on the Lucea ID. But I want to talk a little bit about the curling iron. So let me just kind of doing like a half and half, right? Flat iron, curling iron. So this is a 1.25 inch barrel. 1.25 inch is a really nice size barrel. It's kind of nice for all hair lengths. If you have shorter hair, it's just going to give you more like volume and body. If you have longer hair, you're going to get kind of more defined curls. But it's that nice sweet spot that tends to work for everybody. Kate. Oh, heat protectant. Yeah. So I highly recommend, using a heat protectant, using a quality one, right? We invest so much in our hair. Let's, kind of take care of it as much as we can. Also recommend using, a high-end shampoo and conditioner, right? Something that's going to work for your hair. If you have naturally curly hair, use one that supports naturally curly hair. If you have color treated hair, use products that naturally support or are intended to support your hair type. But yeah, I actually put on a heat protectant before the stream because I knew I'd be doing some live demos. So absolutely. And then, okay. So let's do some curling here. So I love this technique. It's for more of kind of a wavy curl. Kind of gives you that like undone beachy waves. So I start sort of in the middle. And I want to go backwards. And I'm going to curl my hair like you normally would. I leave the ends out. And then I untwist it instead of releasing. And then I pull the ends through. So what you end up getting, and you'll see it when we brush it out, is kind of a tighter curl. It's like flatter as opposed to, a more like traditional or like, you know, kind of a Shirley Temple curl. I've heard this also a stylist say, like this first one that I did, this is more like a Kim Kardashian curl, and this one I'm about to do is more like Taylor Swift. But it's fun, right? There's so much versatility just within single tools, just depending on your technique, right? So instead of releasing, oh, and I can put my ends in. And then I just release. So, right, you can see the difference. More of like a barrel curl. This is more of like a twisty curl. So just let that cool, and then I'll show you guys the results. Another fun, like, kind of tip and trick with curling irons is if you go backwards, right, if you curl back with the clip basically facing the mirror on either side, you curl back, you're going to get kind of those more undone, kind of beachy, kind of like, you know, it's very trendy right now, that look, a little Farrah Fawcett-y. If you go towards, right, so you'd have the clip in the back when you start the curl. If you go towards your face and you do uniform curls and do especially like this curl, the more traditional curl, you get kind of that Hollywood glam look. So let's brush this out. I'm going to go ahead and use the smooth paddle brush, which is in our product carousel. Right, and we can kind of see the difference here. I'm not gonna lie, guys, it's thrown me off that it's the mirror image. I'm like, which way? Okay, so this is more the twisty wave. That's more the traditional curl. So fun versatility. Okay, just make sure we're all caught up on questions. We are. Another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about today is the Detangle Duo. So there's a brush, and then it comes with this wide tooth comb. It's meant for use on wet hair. So you actually use the wide tooth comb in the shower to like work product through your hair. I also like secretly love this little comb to brush through my strands. It helps kind of keep more of the curl structure, but then, you know, loosens it up for that more like undone look. So that's super fun. And then I know we wanted to talk about the Turban Towel and the shower cap. So in addition to making fabulous styling tools at T3, we have great accessories. Brushes, clip kit, Turban Towel. This was the sneaker for me. I had no idea I would love it so much. So it's made out of microfiber, and it's meant for use on wet hair. So you get out of the shower, and instead of using your like terry cloth, you know, towel, which can cause damage because it's very rough on your hair, and wet hair is very fragile, right? We don't want to mess up our cuticles. We don't want to add frizz. And so using a turban towel made out of microfiber is going to be fantastic. So you wrap your hair in it. The button side, this goes at the front of your head, and then you basically twist the rest of your hair up. And then there's a little elastic band, and you put that over the button, and it holds it in place in this super cute turban. I was like, great, you know, I'm sure it's healthier for my hair, so that's cool. I'll use it. And then like the big surprise that I was so thrilled about is that when I use the turban towel, my dry time when I blowed out my hair like decreased significantly. It just grabs so much moisture. You'll take the towel if you'd be like, how is there even that much moisture left in my hair? It's like, what's happening? So huge fan of the turban towel. Get it while it's hot, 15% off today, guys. Now through the end of the stream, and then 30 minutes after the stream. So you've got a little bit of a buffer time. And then of course we always want to maintain our style, right? We're not supposed to be washing our hair every single day. And so we have this super cute, really fun shower cap. It's a mushroom shower cap. It's pink, and then it's got this fun like geometric white design. And then it's got microfiber on the inside. So very soft, very luxurious. I love it. I mean, you know, it's a shower cap. We all need it because we shouldn't be washing your hair every day, and help to maintain your style for an extra day or two. And then, right, go into your Lucea ID and use it on refresh mode with less heat to touch up your hair for day 2 or day 3 or day 4. I'm not judging. Oh, I love it. Your name's not, you gotta put your name on, user HY8558. But thanks for joining the party. I'm glad you think it's cute. let's see, what else do we want to talk about? I always make notes for my live streams because I'm a nerd like that. But what else? What else should we talk about? Oh, let's talk about Rapid Heat IQ. So we talked about Heat ID, and if you're just joining us, you have questions, let us know. I'll just quickly recap it. But the Lucea ID 1-inch smart straightening and styling iron and the Curl ID 1.25-inch curling iron, these are both smart. They have Heat ID technology. Basically, you put in your hair attributes, your hair texture, your hair length, whether your hair has been color treated, and then on the Curl ID, whether it's been chemically treated. Then these tools assign you a heat setting out of 9 heat settings. On the Lucea ID, for instance, I'm a 4. And on the Curl ID with my fine hair and color treated hair, I'm a 3 out of 9. So in addition to Heat ID technology, these tools have Rapid Heat IQ technology. What does that mean? So basically, in the plates and in the barrel, excuse me guys, let me get some water. I gotta hydrate. And this is your reminder too. We all should be drinking more water, you know, you gotta hydrate. It's gonna give you that beautiful hair and glowing skin. Okay, Rapid Heat IQ technology. There's a couple of features that live under the umbrella of Rapid Heat IQ technology. The first is that there is a smart microchip right in the plate and right in the barrel. And basically what that's doing is it's maintaining a constant temperature on the tools. And so why is this important, right? Why do we care? Well, how many of you guys have experienced this where you get a new hair tool, you go home, you plug it in, right? And it heats up and you do your first section and it looks like amazing. You're like, great. And then you go to your next section. It's like, oh, it looks pretty good. And then you get to your last section. You're like, what happened? It's as if I didn't style the last half of my head. Like, why does my right side look amazing and the left side looks like I did nothing to it? It's because on other tools, and depending on their quality, right, there's a refractory period. So when we style our hair, heat from the tool gets transferred to our strands, right, which it's supposed to happen. That's how hot tools are supposed to work. But then, right, the tool has to heat back up. And so in a lesser tool, there's a refractory period. And if it's for more than like several seconds, you're just basically losing heat and losing heat and losing heat every time you style a new section. Well, with Rapid Heat IQ technology and a smart microchip keeping your plate and your barrel at a constant temperature, there's basically no refractory period. There is, but it's like totally negligible. So your first strand and your first section is going to look just as good as your last strand or section. So it's going to, there's so many benefits to that, right? Because there's less heat exposure for your hair, right? Because you're only styling it once. So that's helpful because healthy hair is beautiful hair. That's what we all want. The other important thing is it's saving you time. Who wants to be doing their hair multiple times? Nobody. We just want to do it once. We want it to look good. We want it to last all day. That's what Rapid Heat IQ technology does. There's also going to be ceramic heaters. So in the Lucea ID, there's heaters on both sides, right? Both plates have a heater. And then in the Curl ID, there's dual ceramic heaters. So it's actually 2 heating components in this curling iron, which is unique, I will say, right? Innovative. Not hearing a lot of other brands doing that. Consistent and even heat is just so important, and it's going to be your best friend. You didn't know you needed it, but you need it. The other thing, right, that's important when we talk about even and consistent heat is not only do you want your tool to stay at the same temperature throughout your styling experience, but you want each spot on your tool to be an even temperature. So if you have cold spots and hot spots, it's no good, right? Styling's not going to be fantastic. Not the experience that you want or would be looking for. So we love Rapid Heat IQ technology. The other fun thing, right? Auto roll voltage, 1 hour shut off, and it's got a swivel cord, right? So swivel cord, no tangling while you're styling your hair. So that's very helpful and very important. Let's see. Oh, thanks for joining the party, Wrong and Lulu and Jamie. Nice to see you guys. I think that's everything we wanted to cover. You guys had some really great questions, so thank you so much for asking those in the chat. I hope you guys had fun. I had so much fun on my first ever Verishop live stream. This was so great. So don't forget, 15% off today only, right? During the live stream and for 30 minutes after. So get it while it's hot. But this was such a pleasure. Again, my name is Sarah Williams, T3's brand educator and spokesperson. Until next time, everybody. Thanks so much. Oh, now I just got to end it, guys. There we go. I found it. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining.